this week's biggest story, and it's a pretty huge deal. EA and the Battlefront 2 microtransaction fiasco.
Truly a fiasco.
It really is. This got way out of their hands very quickly, and I don't know.
I think, like you said, let's start at the beta, where
Okay.
that's kind of the beta for Battlefront 2 is when signs.
That's when it all started.
That's when signs became. There were signs showed that there was something wrong,
and that there were going to be loot boxes, and that made a lot of people uneasy. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of like what we saw with Mass Effect, how you take the multiplayer and you attach these loot boxes to it, and you just expect people to spend money. But I think they took the wrong approach this time with it. I think with the beta, everything seemed kind of chill because, again, it was not going to progress any further than the beta. You know, you kind of played through it, got a feel for the game, and the gameplay looked fun, and it feels fun. From the outside looking in, the game looks like a solid game. I think DICE did a really good job with what they've made, and they did a good job of kind of bringing it back home to the old Battlefront that, you know, we had way back when. But that being said, early access came out.
Yeah, fast forward.
And then we got the full scale of how bad this was going to be.
Yeah, we truly got to see how much we truly got to see how much microtransactions really are going to play a part in this game. And it was
substantial.
Yeah. It was way more than it I mean, we'll go over some numbers in a second, but I think that it was just, like you said, people kind of saw the writing on the wall. We have seen EA kind of going in this direction for quite some time now, but they really, I mean, for this game, they went all out for pay to win.
I mean, what is happening here is basically the same thing you've got with the FIFA Ultimate Team stuff. They've basically taken the whole, like, the new sports, you know, online, create your team kind of, like, approach to it.
Like draft, the Ultimate Team draft, get cards to create your own, a card, almost like card playing sports game.
Right, but this it's not so much the same, but it's kind of like that direction where they're trying to milk money out of it the same way they do with the cards.
And I'll say this, in the FIFA Ultimate Team, it's completely different in my mind because it's only for one very specific game mode. Like, if you want to pay to win an Ultimate Team, that's fine. But there's other people like me. I don't really even touch Ultimate Team, and I can still play everything else, all the single player, I can play with my friends. There's still all the teams and everything. Everything else is untouched. In Battlefront 2, the entire, I would say 80% of the game is in that multiplayer.
Yep.
It's maybe, and I am being very generous, 20% is in the single player / co-op, where those loot boxes don't really make as much impact.
Yeah.
But 80% of the game, and it's going to be pay to win. It's the kind of the flip-flop with the FIFA sports games. And again, in those, it's like, but that's it. They looked at that model, like you said, and they thought, this is making us so much money. How do we apply this to every single game?
Right. And so, I guess when early access came out, we saw how bad it was. We saw that it was going to require 40 hours of in-game time for you to unlock one single hero. And there was 7 or 8, right off the bat. Not to mention, these are the same credits that you're using to buy your guns, to buy your, your upgrades, to buy things for your classes, all of this. So that's like, if you wanted a hero and you played for 40 hours, you could buy nothing else
but a hero, right?
To have enough credit. Like, so you're not only limiting yourself by like focusing on getting like that one thing, right? But now it's someone did the math that it was going to be like 4,500 hours total for you to be able to unlock everything.
Yeah, 4,528 hours to acquire everything in the game. And I mean, that's just, again, these things, it's not like it takes 4,528 hours to unlock every cosmetic in the game. If that was the route that EA had taken, I wouldn't have. I don't think that's bad. I think 4,000 hours is a crap ton of time. But I mean, people put that type of time into games, but the problem is it's 4,000 hours for things that genuinely benefit you in the game, and that other people who are either more willing or who have more money can just buy those things.
Or more time.
Or more time.
Because like think about the people out there that are dads now and work 40 hours a week, and then they come home and they have their family, and all they get is maybe 3 or 4 hours a week to play.
Yeah,
they're never going to be able to accomplish this stuff. And so I guess
even worse for them. Even worse for them, I would say.
I think we need to go to EA's comment. And what they said. Okay, so the Reddit post started with some guy saying how disgusted he was that he spent $80 on a game and he can't even play as his favorite character, Darth Vader, right? You can't even play Vader. He spent $80 on the game already. What is he supposed to do? Like, he wanted a refund. And sure enough, they responded, the intent is to provide players with the sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for the cost, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average pay per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics here on Reddit, our forums, and across numerous social media outlets. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor community feedback and update everyone as soon as possible, or as soon and as often as we can. So that's one thing.
I mean, that comment, it really struck a chord with the Reddit community, clearly.
Oh yeah, and I'm sitting here, I'm on the page right now, and it looks like actually some of the downvotes have been taken back. But this was 5 days ago, there's been 676,000 downvotes.
In a 5-day period. It's by far the most downvoted comment of all time. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Their Reddit karma is trash right now.
EA community team, yeah, is not...
They're in some deep shit.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the worst comment. But if you look through their history, you're looking at like 10, 15,000 negative comments pretty consistently for almost everything since that game was launched.
Yeah.
Man, these poor guys. It's like,
Negative
I don't feel bad for them at all, but.
Well, it's because...
I feel bad for DICE a little bit. I don't...
2 days after that, this is what really drives me crazy. It's one thing to try to, make some money off your game to offset such a large development cost, right? They have a huge studio with tons of people. They have to pay all those people. They have to pay for all the software, all the hardware. I mean, I get it. It costs a lot of money. But if you just sell copies of the game, you're going to make that money back. Now, the other thing that really, I think, drove this all home and made this the scummiest thing that EA has ever done, they removed their refund button from the customer portal.
I know. How scumbag. Like, really, you're gonna make it so that people can't refund their game because they're angry about the fact that you added a terrible element to the game. And it's like, I mean, thank God that they, thank God they did early access so that the outrage could come out before all these people had pre-ordered their game. But it's pretty funny that. It's pretty funny.
I mean, and their response was that the self-service refund option is only available if you have not been charged for the product yet. After that point, you can call EA help to get a refund. Currently, you will be billed if you have pre-ordered the standard edition and therefore would need to call EA help to get a refund. So,
been a busy couple
and then
days
they updated it to say, we realize the system isn't as clear as we hoped. We're working to roll out an update in the near future that will improve it. So they had a refund button, but they didn't tell anybody that is only if you haven't been charged yet. So how is it a refund button? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like a cancel button. That's a cancel button.
It's a cancel button. And basically, at that point, you should be open and candid to people to say, hey, call EA help. Not just, like, if you realize people are trying to do this, don't take the button down, redirect it to the EA help hotline.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
If you realize everybody's trying to use this link, just all you have to do, it's really not hard to change the address of an image,
or just have the address that have a little image that comes up and says, we're sorry, this link is broken. Go call EA support or whatever. Or say, oh, we're sorry, this link is not what it's.
You don't.
It's
take
not
it
actually
down.
Right. And I mean,
because not everybody's gonna come to Reddit and look at your post saying go call people.
Right.
No,
you're right. A ton of people aren't gonna do that. I mean, this is it. The writing's been on the wall for a while now with EA. But this was it. This was the game, and this was the breaking point for a lot of people. I think a lot of people. I've still bought EA games because there's some EA games that I really enjoy. But,
right, and a lot of the times it's not the developer's fault that the publisher's a jackass.
Especially in EA's case, yes. I wouldn't even be against a similar system to what they used to do and what Call of Duty does, where it's like, you know, as you play the game, you and earn experience, you unlock new weapons and stuff. That would also be a fine way to do it, which I guess they kind of did, but instead they did it with the weird currency thing. I don't understand this. Just do benchmarks if you're gonna have it as an unlock system.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
if you're gonna have an unlock system for actual in-game items that really actually help you, do a benchmark system, not a stupid crystal system, and don't make it so that people can just buy their way through, because it just poisons the entire community.
It's so bad. I mean, Battlefield 1.
Wildly popular game, and I feel like it did really well. I don't understand why you would change the model so much.
Right, exactly. That's what I've been saying this entire time. It's I don't understand why you felt the need to change it. I
think, like you said, why change it? Why would you go through this whole thing of basically just doing exactly what you knew people in the community, in the gaming community specifically, didn't want to see? I mean, it's not like people haven't talked about how much they hate microtransactions over the past little while, and how much everyone has said that they don't want microtransactions to be a part of, it's not even the existence of microtransactions. I think we've had this conversation before. It's right, having microtransactions as a pay-to-win feature. The only thing that I think is, I don't even think it's okay in this either, but the only thing that even makes sense to have that is mobile gaming, and mobile gaming, in my opinion, is complete garbage. The point is, I don't want that to exist in a $60 AAA title. I don't want to have to go in and play against whales who are just people who spent $2,000-$3,000 to get freaking heroes, and are just going to fuck around with heroes the entire time and just completely destroy you. It's stupid. It's completely ridiculous. The fact that as a game company you don't immediately go, how dumb is this? The community is going to hate it. I mean, it's just proof of the fact that EA clearly is thinking with their wallets first and not thinking with they're not thinking with their game minds, with their gamer minds, you know? Go and talk to your people. It's just
and
don't get it.
I really like don't want to take the credit away from DICE, right? Because I feel like, again, from everything I've seen, the game looks great. But I think the only way to properly deliver the message to the publisher is if they feel it, you know? And after they've done everything they can to try and fix what they've done,
right.
maybe then I'll rethink.
I mean, okay, well,
and they're already taking those steps in the right direction.
The first thing they did originally was reduce the cost of the heroes, but even that was ingenuine, because when they originally did that, they also lowered how many points you received. So for all the achievements you got less points for them.
Which is wrong.
So lowering the cost of the heroes doesn't matter because you just lowered the cost of all your achievements. So it's basically like it's basically the same cost.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is wrong. I mean, they came out today to fix it on the day one patch. Because again, they had the early access, which I think was another huge problem.
First of all, they're never doing that again. But it's not a huge problem because you know what? It benefited the consumer, and it benefited all these people who had pre-ordered the game like fools for thinking that this wasn't going to be a complete. The same. Just don't pre-order EA games, everybody. Please do not pre-order a game from EA ever again.
Yeah. Honestly,
yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit of EA's response and how they're handling the situation. I think we need to move on and give them the ground that they kind of deserve because they are trying. Like we said already, and I've been trying so hard to find like a more better reason. But okay, so they first did what we initially just discussed, where they cut the price down. And that price cut, do you know how much it was?
Yeah, 75%.
It was really substantial. Okay, they cut it down from 40,000 credits for the high-end heroes.
But as we had said,
it's a 75% decrease.
Right, but they changed
from 60,000 to
how much?
Excuse me.
Money you earn from achievements. So 15,000 it's the time it takes to get to 15,000 is similar to what it was to get to 60. That's kind of the.
They said, "We hear you loud and clear, so we turned off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in-game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this."
At the very.
So, they are tuning the rate at which people earn not the crystals but the credits, right? Because you basically
the crystals your crystals. It's like you can buy crystals with real money, or you can earn credits in the game, and then you can buy loot boxes or you can buy things with either of them. And I'm glad that they're suspending the crystal altogether because, at least at the very least, they're listening a little bit. But I still don't.
Right. It means at launch everyone's at a level playing field except for the people that had EA access and have already bought their heroes.
Right. So, but at the very least at launch, everyone who has the game at launch, it's starting on a level playing field, and nobody can pay money to be better than their fellow player.
Right. And that's part of the issue, right? But the other part of the issue is setting an unexpectedly high level of completion for people. Because take the timer off of your credit system. Make it skill-based. The people that do better are rewarded more.
So, I think the game, it looks like a good game. The gameplay seems to be enjoyable to a lot of people from what I understand, but they just built a game to make it so that you would spend money. They built an entire system to force people to make money, and I'm glad to see that they're listening to people. I'm glad to see that they are, at least for now, suspending the crystal system. But my biggest concern, and I think a lot of people's concern with this is just a temporary thing, kind of waiting for it to blow over, Reddit to kind of forget about it, and they're just going to go right back to their old ways. But
I mean,
hopefully they introduce.
Regardless, I think this is a message to everybody, not just EA, but to every publisher out there, because I think Activision and Ubisoft are also just as guilty of this. Stop putting paywalls on things. Don't make people spend money unless they want to. Right? Cosmetics only.
Right. Do not make a game.
Why is Epic the only one doing it right now?
Why are you making your game play to win? Nobody should ever be making a game pay to win. There should be no pay to win element to these games. Again, this is a AAA title. This is a
AAA title.
$60 game. Why are you making it pay to win?
This is like going to the movie to see Thor Ragnarok and only getting to see half of it for the price of your ticket. Or, you know what? No, we'll say the first 2 acts. And then you get to Act 3, you get to that falling action, and they just say, oh, if you want to find out what happens, you're going to give us another $5 to $10.
$5 more.
No.
Whatever.
It's wrong.
No.
Stop it.
You know what? It is like the movies, because it's like if I want to watch a movie in 3D and RPX, I have to pay extra for that. Fine.
Right.
Fair enough.
Great point.
And you know what? Fair enough. I think that makes a little bit more sense. That's like getting a cool new cosmetic on my character.
Yeah.
But they're not taking out plot points from the movie. They're not removing entire scenes crucial to the. Well, they're not removing entire scenes from the movie, potentially crucial or maybe not. But they're not removing entire scenes from the film and then selling them to you at a later date. Now, thinking about it now, shit, maybe that's what movies should be doing. But,
well, I mean,
but that's not what they're doing, and it's crazy to think that they did.
You know how every Marvel movie you go to, they got that little like snippet at the end after the end credits that always like alludes to something coming later, right?
Yeah, it's like pay $5 and you can see that.
Yeah, it's like if you want to see it, you gotta pay us another $5.
Right.
I mean, it's still like. No other industry does it. It's literally highway robbery, man. Like, it's just so.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say no other industry does it, but when
for
you're
the most part.
I agree. For the most part,
what, health insurance?
Well, it's hard. It's hard. Like very few entertainment industries,
right,
are pay to win. And it's
It's just,
it is what it is. It is what it is. But EA is supposed to be the biggest gaming company out there. They set trends. Hopefully, this is the opposite of a trend set. Like hopefully the reaction is so visceral and so powerful against EA. Other game companies learn from the lesson. No, just how it came out.
You said visceral.
I know, but it just came out. So,
I would say. Lastly, I would encourage gaming publishers to look at people like Epic, or I mean, I'll even say Destiny, even though a lot of people were mad about the whole shader thing early on, but like that blew over, and I get it. I think it makes sense. If you want the shader, go do the activity, but like Epic gave a game away for free. So you're going to sit... Because EA's big thing coming out, right? The first time they spoke out against it, they said, well, this is how we offset our development costs. And to me, that's BS. This is how you offset that cost quicker. Instead of trying to sell more games, you're going to sell as many as you can and then milk people for that money. So...
You should be able to... If you can't make up your development costs by selling the game at $60. You spent too much developing the game.
Yeah. And so, if you look at Fortnite, which I think is a great example, right? Huge fan base. You know, there's tons of people playing Fortnite, and I don't know how PUBG does theirs. I imagine it's pretty similar, but PUBG is still, you have to pay to buy it. Fortnite gives you the Battle Royale for free. They say, okay, if you don't want to play this competitively, if you don't want to get stuck into the PvP side of it, you can buy the PvE game and just enjoy kind of the fort building, zombie killing side of it. That's up to you if you want it, but we're still going to give you the free multiplayer. Now, on top of that, you can spend money to buy cosmetic items, again, to offset that cost. But it says in a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen, none of these items affect gameplay, and they're purely cosmetic. So, cosmetics, fine. Charge people for them. Guild Wars has been doing it for years. WoW's been doing it.
Blizzard's the one who created the idea, and they, you know, with loot boxes and Overwatch and stuff. And people complain about that, but it's like, what are you complaining about? It's cosmetic. Like, it doesn't affect the game.
Don't you get loot boxes for playing anyways?
Yeah, you get one every time you level up. So people
level up.
People complaining about loot boxes.
I mean, that's
in general.
that's how Destiny does it. It's like in Destiny, if you want that exotic sparrow or you want that exotic, you know, emote, you need to level up, and they give you the thing for leveling up that you could purchase if you wanted to spend money on it.
And I'm not even against having things behind paywalls if they're purely cosmetic, because I don't think that's if you want to support the game that you really love.
Yeah,
that should be a cool way to do it. It's cosmetics. That's a great way to do it. But it should just never affect the actual gameplay. It should never affect the core of the game. And especially in the world we live in today, where esports is becoming a bigger and bigger thing, why in the fuck would you want to affect your gameplay? You're immediately making your game not viable in a competitive sense.